Welcome to Secura Law Experience. I'm Luis Elizalde, founder of Secura Law, and I'm here with
Stephanie de la Millar.
And Eduardo Beauregard. Well, today we have a very special guest. His name is Daniele Sica, and we're going to let him introduce himself.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniele Sica. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm a real estate broker, investors. I'm doing here many things. Maybe we need more than 5 podcasts to illuminate it more the things that I do. But I'm happy to be here today and share our information with our people.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. It was a great when we invite you. You were glad to do it, and you are now here. I think you post a picture, right, in your Instagram.
Yes.
And said that, hey, I'm coming to here. So
to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. So the good things of the media that we use to share with the people that follow us, right?
So you use only Instagram, YouTube,
TikTok,
okay,
Facebook. Yeah, I'm trying to create a community.
That's
so
good.
Where people that can ask information and mostly understand the process and feel comfortable for whatever reason they want to, right? Because most of the time there is some misunderstanding and people make a mistake, and then at the end of the day there is the perception that doing something in a certain specific of the world is not good things to do.
That's good. So the all the content that you are creating is not like, sorry to say this, but normally brokers are looking to sell something, but
Correct.
the thing that you are doing is creating or giving information, or the correct information for your possible investors. So that, I think that's good, right? That you're not totally selling, you are giving a really good content, and that's good. So it's amazing. That's great.
I do believe that yes, our first priority is to have transparency and do mostly the famous due diligence. And so when the due diligence is made correctly with an expertise, there is a trust. And when there is a trust, there is the bond. When there is the bond, there is everything. So it's a matching between two or more people.
Nice. Can you give us a little bit about, or can you talk about more from yourself? How do you enter to the real estate and everything? How much experience do you have?
Okay.
Could be a good idea.
Sure. I'm gonna make it a little bit short because it's a long story. But
We have time.
But starting 2009.
Okay.
From Toronto. Since I'm sure you guys have been in Toronto, in Canada, there is a little bit of snow.
A little.
A little bit. And so I love snow, but also because I'm originally from Italy, born in Switzerland, but I lived for over 20 years in the south, close to the Mediterranean.
Salerno, right?
Salerno. So 10 minutes from the beach. So for me, the sun, it's like my DNA, right? So the vitamin D, it's very essential. And we found out also these things during COVID that you need to have vitamin D anyhow. So I decided to come in Cancun because it was a direct flight for 4 hours, and I came here. I started enjoying, I like it, and I come more often. Then the universe says, you know what, maybe you need a girlfriend. So I started to hanging with the girlfriend, and one of my clients from Toronto one day say, hey, I'm gonna buy some lot in Aldea Zama.
Okay.
I said, what is Aldea Zama? He said, it's in Tulum. Okay. So we talk about 2011.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so we know that 2011, it was complete selva
Yes.
in Aldea Zama. It was just a few things around. And I said, okay, let me go and check, because it's my nature to be understanding the things and have that little bit of curiosity that pushed me to learn more about. And so I came here, I went with the real estate, Nuri back then, and she showed me the land and the project, and I fell in love and I bought a land.
Okay, that's good.
I had no idea about the land, I had no idea what's going on, but I had the vision.
Okay.
So I'm blessing somehow because I can have a 3D vision, prospect of what's going on in the future. Obviously, we didn't know how long, right? But that was a good intention. So, and back then it was very cheap to buy, and that's how I made the first investment. And so that's how I came to fall in love with Tulum, but mostly with all the Riviera Maya.
Okay.
And since 2009 until today, I'm back and forward. I lived here for a couple of years, and so I know all the growing area.
Okay,
the
in
Riviera-
Tulum.
In Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Puerto Morelos, and Cancun because I was live there as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. Now, long story. Really?
Short.
No. That's the idea. So that means that you have more than 10 years, 11, 12 years of experience?
Yeah.
A little more about
Yeah.
in real estate. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
And as well also in Toronto as a real estate agent with license.
Okay, that's good to know.
Work with the different brokerage, Central 21, Kelly Williams, and also I had a platinum real estate agency for selling pre-sale in the GTA and specific in Toronto area
Nice. And your company here, what is the name?
with My Ocean
Okay, that's good. In Tulum.
in Playa del Carmen. Yeah, the headquarters is in Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, I know.
And there is another office in Cancun and in Tulum. And that's where I'm located there as a team leader. I organize events, work with other brokerage.
Okay.
And we have more than 30 projects as a master broker from Cancun to Tulum, as well as
Nice.
Macajual.
Oh, Mahahual. Okay.
Oh.
Really in the south of the
Really
state.
south.
That's good.
Yeah.
Amazing. You want?
What I mean, we always ask questions about their experiences because that's what the podcast is about. But mainly, since you've talked about that you have experience from Toronto and you moved here fairly in the very early stages of the Sama development. Have you had any clients that represented like some challenge to you because of the area from Canada?
Yeah, so I would say that I start with my first client. They were Canadians,
Okay.
right? And there was the first bond, I believe, because I had to share my experience, the one that I just shared before. And after 4 years, they saw that, because I already bought something, the first question was start to say, what's happening in Mexico, what I need to do, is secure to buy land, is the government gonna take me, expropriate my house, right? As I would say at the beginning, unfortunately, there is this misunderstanding, and especially now with all these fake media, people don't understand if whatever they read anywhere is true or not,
Totally.
right? And so it's our job, is the due diligence to explain and tell them what is real. Obviously, they have to confirm and feel comfortable and go move forward. And especially when foreigners have to make a decision outside the country, there is the famous risk, right?
Yeah.
So they have to accept the risk, and the risk have to be more than 80%. Once they feel comfortable, it's much easier to express and tell details how and to make the right decision in an investment.
Yeah. So basically, the challenge that you encounter is the fact that they don't trust, or they don't know what to do, or they are misled by the media.
Or from
Basically.
yeah, or the other is from other people. They already bought something, had some misrepresentation. Let's put it that way. And the funny thing is that, because I ask, so what happened? Because if you don't ask, it says, oh yeah, you're right. You need to have an answer back, basically, right? For the reason, and that's probably because it's me, because the more knowledge and the more understanding I have as a background, I can answer back.
Exactly.
It's like, since I'm Italian, I like to make an analogy as being a chef. So if I have a restaurant, I have a table, I have many plates to serve. So then the people, they can choose what they like, rather to serve only one plate, right?
Totally.
And so if I have this ability, the clients can understand, says, okay, who say that? So what happened? Let's dig in. And then we find out that, they were represented by no one. Right?
Yeah.
Or they bought something, they was not understanding the process of the law, right? Or somebody with no license or something like that, right? They mislead them and they made a mistake.
Yeah, because that is a very huge factor. Now that you mention, it's very important to have proper representation. First of all, as with a broker that knows the way around and is just not an improvised person, and so far with the other professions that we are involved in this, right? With the lawyer,
The component,
notaries, and banks, right?
Correct.
So I think that would be the main idea of this podcast is to give an approach to people to understand this without even coming down here.
Correct.
So get close to them.
Right. So at this point, we can use the technology in our events, right? So we have this famous protocol that the people that can sign a contract electronically, right? DocuSign, for example, without mentioning others. But that's the one we use most of the time, and it's pretty easy, convenient. And with the camera, we can show the showroom, other things. And again, it have to be a mutual trust from the people. As I do have sometimes people from Switzerland or other country friends that never came here, they have no idea about Tulum or Playa del Carmen, and they do an acquisition property.
Exactly.
But
As an investment.
As an investment, but correctly, because our job is to connect with people like you, right? So they can guide them, and if they have a question, hey, we can do a Zoom call, and they can answer all the question. In all the languages, right?
Yeah.
French, Spanish, Italian, Russia, you name it. We are multicultural here. Yeah.
That's something good, right? In Riviera Maya, that we have a lot of foreigners, and normally the people say, yeah, they are American, but no. No. Here are around the world. People are all around the world, as you said, Italian, American, Canadian, Russian. We have everybody here. So that's amazing.
It looks like for me being in Toronto.
Yes, there is a lot of
without the snow,
there, right?
Without the snow, exactly.
Without snow, yeah. It's also, this is very important factor for investors. When they see all these movements, not just as an American or as in Canadians or Latin America, but also from Europe. And I noticed also this year. Actually, last year in December, many families and kids than the previous years. So that means people start to learn more about, and specifically on Instagram, people that can search, and there are billions of videos, and that's, I guess, where everything started during COVID, with all these famous people coming here and do these videos and posting.
And they can see that is the misinformation that is in the internet saying, hey, don't come to Mexico because it's not secure and everything. They can see that they can invest here, they can have money here, they can live here, they can enjoy a really nice winter without snow.
Correct.
That's something that is amazing for them, and not with the misinformation that they can find in Google. We find on this weekend you sent us something, remember? And it's unbelievable. Did you want to speak about that? It was like the one from the...
Yes. It's supposed to be a law firm that it was misinforming about the substitute beneficiaries. As a foreign, when you create your trust to acquire your unit, you appoint substitute beneficiaries. There is no restriction that has to be individual persons. And now they are spreading this rumor that it's incorrect information, that it has to be your relative or the trustee bank won't make it valid, the designation of your substitute beneficiary.
Yeah.
So
Could you imagine?
in your experience, when this incorrect information comes to you, how do you persuade your clients and lead them? It's hard also to take them that ideas out of their mind, or how do you manage this?
Yeah, that's a good question. That can be a typical one. And usually I refer, if you want to buy a table and says, okay, let me ask two different people the cost of the table, and then you decide, right? You have to be comfortable, as I was saying before, with your own risk. I can refer to you with the attorney that I've been working for many years, and I know I cannot guarantee, and also at the same time, I cannot speak by an attorney because I'm not an attorney, but based on my own experience, I can say that happened. However, it's good that you can connect with another. If you want, I can give to you another option to know more about and understanding what's the point here, so then you can make a final decision, because you have to feel comfortable. Specifically when I notice that, if we try to push, this is okay, that is something between them, and then again I'm going to lose the property, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, so it's a circle, so we have to get out from that circle and say, okay, that's the reality, or you do this, or you choose another attorney, or you go with another property, as much you feel comfortable. Because for us, it's not just selling a property, it's to have a continued relationship for a long time.
Exactly. Sorry.
Definitely. I mean, the name of the game really is trust.
Mm-hmm.
You need to first connect with the person that is trying to move here or invest here.
Correct.
And it works both ways. From you guys from the beginning, that you get the first contact with the client, and us that we're trying to provide a service to the client, right? So as long as that relationship is not abused or anything like that, obviously the first item to be careful about is the information. You cannot tell people information that is not real, right? With this example, because that hurts the entire community, because it's not just that person that's gonna have wrong information, it's gonna spread.
Correct.
Right? So that's the point, that we need to take care of the information that we're giving, so the clients feel comfortable, and the future ones are following the right step.
The right direction, yeah. Otherwise, we go back again. It's like a ping pong games, back and forward, right?
Yes, with the same mistake in the middle, no? So it's very important, the added value that you are giving to your marketing in general, because you are not only offering multiple properties to buy, you are also offering yourself as an assistance to make the right steps to a safe investment.
And I believe also that when you connect with an expert, right, you may want to ask some question, not the typical one, how long you've been in the business, what you have done, what's your opinion on that, right? And of course it's subjective as well. In my case, for example, since I've been working with corporate people or investors, they do multifamily concept, right? In the state or in Canada, you have to have some other type of knowledge that is like an account, an attorney, the tax relationship between countries, right?
Exactly.
And so the things has been more in a development area where you need to have most of the things sell it down correctly in order to be built.
Exactly. A lot of dishes to prepare, no?
Right, and the more you know, again, the table, the more things you have, the more you can offer, and it's one shot basically, where the clients go with one person, and it's like a chedraui, right, and have everything. And that's why we are different in compare with somebody else, right? Because we offer all these things. And that's why we have also this connection, because we can expand, as we start to talk about last time, other type of development idea in order to support the investors from another country and purchase something here.
Okay, but that we already spoke about your past, the present. Now you just came with the future that you're looking for. Okay.
As well, yeah.
Exactly, and that future is more an investor here. In what kind?
Well, we have two different type of investors. So investors, they come here, they're looking to buy land and develop the land.
Okay, that's good.
And so, as you know, we have tons and tons of lands here, but we need to make sure that the land is the right one, is correct, is defined by law.
Like you said, it's one shot.
It's one shot, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to know the notary, we need to know the account, we need to know who is the owner of the land, what he want, what she want, right?
Okay.
So develop this project idea, understanding what's the mission, That's one part. And then as a multifamily, people, again, they buy a small lot to build 16, 20 or more units to rent, because that's the game of renting for 5 to 7 years, and then eventually, keep renting or selling.
Okay, I know that you're looking to do something in the next month. Next month, I think.
Yeah. It's a May 29, I believe. We do an event in Montreal.
Okay, that's good.
With investors, where we will be share information about acquisition, land development, and our connection that we have here. So you guys are invited also to come.
Thank you so much.
To come, and so the people that can understand better how to can afford to buy, where the money they can come from Canada, for example, what's the strategy, what's the exit strategy that we can have, and so they can develop this type of idea, and then with us as a team we can communicate and do the next follow-up.
Okay, that's good. So it's gonna be May
29.
May 29. And the idea is that you are gonna provide all this kind of information for this kind of investor looking to develop something here in Riviera Maya.
In Riviera Maya.
Mostly
Tulum area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. What do you have questions about that? Do you have ideas? Do you want that we speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
That depends on you. Eh?
Yeah. Since we're here, right? There is.
Yeah, certainly. Let's take the opportunity.
Let's take the opportunity, right? So the people that can understand a little bit more about, although I would say in events that we may need another 10 podcasts because there's lots to talk. But for example, the typical question that the investor they ask, right? An acquisition. So when I have to buy a land, what's the process? Because they hear, fideicomiso, they hear other type of format, the documentation. So what they have to look at when they buy something, when they connect with a notary or a lawyer.
In this case, when it's a developer that is looking to make business here, the most important, for sure, they're gonna find a lot of fideicomiso or trust, but the most important is a corporation, a Mexican corporation, because at the end they're gonna make business. Like the fideicomiso that we have in residential, for restricted zone, and it's not gonna help them to develop what they are looking for. So the most important is to get a corporation, a Mexican corporation, because they are gonna do business. It's not like they are coming only for winter or it's a second home. No, they are looking to do business. So I think the first step is to create a corporation or formalize or incorporate.
But I think he's talking more about the administration trust, no? Like for develop. That it's the way that it's more controlled about the progress of the the construction work. It is a way to do construction.
Yeah, but I don't get this is a controversial, because now I understand. I don't like that. It's a way or a culture thing that in Mexico we think that as soon as the property or an administration is in a fideicomiso, everything is gonna be right, and because it's a bank that is administrated, the bank is not making the administration. The bank is just the institute that all the people around give instruction to the bank, get the money there, and the money is there.
Correct.
You can do the same with an escrow in a private way, cheaper. I think it's more efficient, because if you get a really good corporation or a really good escrow company that can provide you with the certainty that the money is going to be there, give your investor the certainty that the money is going to be there, and it's not going to be used until they do or they give a written instruction to the escrow company, not to you, to the escrow company. Hey, I'm okay. They already reached all the funds, let's say $2 million. They already reached $2 million. Now I sign instruction letter saying I can provide that money to start the construction,
Right.
And that provide a lot of certainty to the client, to the investor, because they know that the money is not directly to the developer or the person that is gonna build. And until all the funds are together, they have the certainty that it's gonna happen.
Correct.
It's something that, from my point of view, is more efficient, crystal clear because everything is written. Something that for sure in Google they're gonna find in Mexico you don't have anything. That's not true. You have everything. And in Mexico
it's very secure. Yeah.
Exactly, and you get
Very
everything in
secure.
written.
Yeah.
So,
And also, I believe that the word escrow, right, is familiar with Canadians or American as well.
They'll feel more comfortable.
Comfortable, yeah. They need a little bit of structure, right, and definition.
yeah.
Because sometimes I believe words they can be interpreted in different way.
I think the expert on escrow is Steph, and I'm pretty sure that she's gonna say something after I'm gonna say this. Something we have to say it true in Mexico, like the escrow doesn't exist like that, like in America or Canada. But it's the same. You have fideicomiso? You have the word fideicomiso in Canada or America? No. It's trust. It's the same thing that we have here.
Yeah.
To understand the idea what is the escrow, on how it works in Mexico, we use the word in order to explain what is the way that we are going to work. At the end it's the same. Like we said trust, so you can understand what is fideicomiso. We use escrow to understand how it's going to work.
Go work, yeah.
That's the important thing, because sometimes they say, no, there is no escrow in Mexico. Okay, there is no escrow, like the word escrow, but there is a lot of regulation, laws, and everything that can provide certainty and legal certainty.
Correct.
That's the most important. That you are deposit your money in something, in a company that is gonna provide a secure, or it's gonna secure your money. So I don't think that could be an issue. It's only a word, but you can talk.
No, yes, I mean, there is a lot of misinformation regarding how the escrow operates here in Mexico. We have the same. I can say that in my experience handling our own escrow account for over 5 years, I think, I know that our banking system is as efficient as the Canadian or the United States financial system. Even some kind of operations are faster here, and we are highly regulated about the money laundering. You for sure know that and are familiar with that. So that make our financial system, I think, stronger than most of the Latin America and other countries.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. And again, it goes back in what we were saying before, the trust. So when you have that trust and understanding with who and how they do, and have the strategy in place, like the same thing when we talk about with investors or multifamily or other type of entity, they define where the money have to come from, right? So there is another one, for example, for people out there, maybe they know what I'm talking about right now. It's called OPT, which is other people money, OPM. Other people money means that you use the money from other people and you invest. And people say, how does that happen? How it can be possible, right? And you just understand the structure, how to work around, and then how you develop, the due diligence and learning, and then you become your own ownership of yourself, right?
Yeah.
You become your own banker at the end of the day,
right?
And you try to avoid to go to the bank.
Exactly.
Because they charge you more. And
the interests are crazy.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
their bureaucratic process are letting them behind. That is that true.
Right.
It's a fact.
Right, and that's where you try to be articulated with the clients and try to understand escrow, fideicomiso, SAPI, or other corporation, all these things, the account, and then you structure the you give a good knowledge to each individual person that they want to invest here in the Riviera Maya, and once they feel comfortable with the trust, we move to the next step.
The thing is that, okay, for sure, the most important thing at the beginning is the trust. But imagine trust adding everything in writing. Crystal clear documents. If you're going to invest this money, you can get your money back. It's something that we can create. And we already spoke a little bit about this. And for sure, it will be amazing if we can provide that to your clients. Because is something that we can have the trust, but adding everything in writing, I think for sure they're gonna love it. You know, so
Yes. Trust and crystal clear information. If you have that two things and common sense, you will make a safe investment. If it's so good to be true, you have to use your common sense and say, okay, I need to double check a lot of points here because the numbers, the location doesn't make sense. But if it's in average, you only have to be guided by the right people that has the right information, and you will have a right investment in the proper way.
Especially what's happening now globally, right? Because this is another big factor that people, once they do the due diligence, they understand that many things in Mexico don't happen like other country, even our neighbor from the north, from the center and down. And from Europe, right? So unfortunately, when things happen around the world, they affect everywhere, right? So that's for example, inflation, COVID, the war, the oil, that kind of stuff, right? So we have to read sometimes the news. Take just a few things that we need to know, right? And then use a common sense, right? Understanding what is true, what is not. And one thing that usually I say to most of my clients that, yes, we have inflation here in Mexico, but we don't go with the history of the famous curve of the inflation from the 70s, when everything started to go crazy, and the latest with the stock market in 2009 or 2017. So we don't have the effect. The curve here is a little bit flat and then it goes up. We never see things like that. It goes down, and so that is a good point for an investor that has no idea to invest specifically in the Riviera Maya, which is a little bit different than just buy a condo unit or a house in town, in the center, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey. It's a little bit different, right? And that's why you have to guide and tell that's what happened specific so they can understand, because it's completely night and days.
Yeah, you just say that, and it's crazy because sometimes they already make an investment, let's say in Monterrey, and when they came here, I want to invest and buy something, but I have an attorney in Monterrey. Oh no, it's so different. We have. Okay, it's the same country, but it's different states, different regulations, different little laws or little details that make a huge difference. Like the public registry is totally different from Monterrey and here, and they don't understand that. So when the attorney came or they speak, wow, they went crazy.
I know.
I
mean, it just remind me one of my first experience that you asked me before, because there are so many. And so now that we talk about, I remember one of my clients many years ago says, "Oh, my sister is an attorney from the state. She's gonna see all the documents." That's fine. I say, however, I do recommend that you find an attorney here in Playa del Carmen, because it will make your life much easier. I say, what's that mean? It says, because they know where to go, where to find all the documentation, and go straight forward.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good that you do your, do clean up with your sister, right? But it's good that at least to start documentation for this kind of intention. It's much better. So, and I have sometimes people that say, "Oh, my client, my friends, or I have my attorney here," and I always say, "However."
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, double checking. I mean, it's okay that they have an attorney that it's on their 100% trust, but exactly they don't know where to search. What to search.
Yeah, because we know here where are all the documentation, how they've been handled, one on top of the other. And if you don't know these specific things, they can stay there all day. And even if they send them to here, they will get lost.
Exactly.
Or send them to the public registry to see what happened.
Here you need to know every country in the world, wherever you're going, you need to know the proper structure. If you understand how to go through the structure and make your life pretty easy. And that's another reason why I like Mexico and the Riviera Maya, because I know where to go, who to talk, and
That's good.
and get what we need at the end of the day.
Because you are local now.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would say Mexico. It's one of my three country, right, between Italy, Canada, and Mexico, right? I feel like maybe in the past life I was a Mexican. Who knows?
Could be. So this was amazing. I think we have more. We need more time to speak, but right now our time is done. It's gone. So, do you think it could be a good idea to have another podcast? Another time with you?
Yeah, I believe we have touched already few critical points, very essential for investor when specifically they want to buy a land.
Okay.
And also, I believe talk about corporation and the advantage, how to use it, Canadians and American, how to use it properly to take advantage on their own stuff. For example, pay less taxes.
Okay.
And so, since we know this strategy, I'm very happy to share with them as well,
Awesome.
with you guys, so they can feel comfortable and have the trust.
Sure.
And then we can go from there with other steps, as well as when you open a corporation, where the money they can come from, how to use it, and why it's good to buy land right now, because that's the major key as well, because we know that I call the land opportunity, the golden of land opportunity right now. If you buy right now, it's still cheap price to buy.
In the future.
And in 2 years, you already can make more than 100% or 1.5%. And so that's why we can share this information, whoever want to learn more about.
Awesome. Yeah, we will do that.
Definitely, for sure.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much for this time. And
No, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure. It was nice. You can find Daniele Sica on Instagram. We're gonna write everything here. You know that everything is here.
Sounds
so
good.
You're gonna have Instagram, your company, everything is
TikTok,
gonna be there.
yeah.
Perfect.
Guys, they can find me if any question. Happy to answer anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
you.
guys.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.